Hello, coaches! Welcome back to another episode of Coach Better Spotlight. My name is Kim Cafino, and I've worked with hundreds of teachers, coaches, and leaders in schools around the world to help them create thriving and sustainable instructional coaching programs. And I'm on a mission to help you coach better. Wherever you are in your coaching journey, we can support you. Come learn with me in one of our courses or private mentoring packages designed specifically for instructional coaches. Join our global Coach Better community, ask any questions you'd like to hear us answer, and find all of our resources for instructional coaches on our website at coachbetter.tv. You can also find us on social media at Eduro Learning or at our Coach Better Facebook group, and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube to catch all of our latest videos. If you're not sure where to start, take our free quiz to get a tailored list of resources delivered straight to you and designed specifically for your level of coaching experience. Find it at coachbetter.tv/quiz. Today's spotlight is another in our series of coaching case studies with one of my amazing clients, Jen Kagohara. She's the elementary school technology and design coach at Taipei American School in Taiwan. Jen is a graduate of the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program, and when we recorded this episode, she had just finished the course. These case study episodes are designed to share the story of a coach and the development of their coaching program and practice in their unique setting. I am so excited to share this episode with Jen with you because Jen has had many experiences that are shared by lots of the clients I work with. She's relatively new to her school, which has hired coaches but doesn't yet have a coaching culture. Many of the coaches I work with are in this exact same situation. In fact, we have several other podcast episodes about this very topic. I'll link one of those episodes here and in the show notes for you. It's called 5 Steps to Move from Having Coaches to a Coaching Culture. Wherever you are in the process at your school, it is always valuable to hear what this looks like in different school contexts. In this Spotlight episode, we're focused on the progress Jen has made in building a coaching culture in just one academic year within the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program. In the full-length audio podcast episode, we also chat about what coaching looks like at her school right now, what makes coaching work and what are some challenges, her big aha moments as a new coach, what she's planning for next in terms of her professional growth, what she wishes she knew before she started coaching, and her recommendations for new and aspiring coaches. To listen to the full-length episode, subscribe to Coach Better wherever you get your podcasts. This episode is a fantastic case study of the difference between just hiring coaches and building a coaching culture. If you find yourself in a similar situation, this episode is for you. And if you want to start making progress on developing a coaching culture immediately wherever your school is at, make sure to stay tuned to the end of the episode for a free resource that will help you get started today. You mentioned a couple times that you're just wrapping up your work in the coach, which is amazing. And I would love to hear about what have been some of the big aha moments or what have been some of the big steps that have helped you kind of move forward this year from your work in the coach that's impacted the school as it stands.
I think reflecting back there, when I started, I was just like, I am not done with my journey video. So I was just working on that. And as I was reflecting, I started with an idea, right? Like, this is something I need. I think it comes to like, maybe one idea that I had, like, I need to uncover the things that I'm not aware about my practice or coaching in general that I think I need, but I don't know, maybe do I really need, or what are the things that out there that I still need to figure out? So I think some aha moments that I had, it was about the leadership portion of it. I had an idea because I did the Woman Who Lead before doing the coaching, right? And then it solely focused on leadership and you viewing yourself as a leader. And it is a leadership position. It's an informal leadership position. But the relational leadership position that you have with teachers. And I think especially like in this last phase of the coaching, growing your capacity and using that intentionally, it was an aha moment for me, right? Because I started as, I need to work with my relationship, right? Like being new at school, not knowing people, they don't know me. So yes, And I need to use that to leverage the work of the coach. Being intentional, who am I going to work with? Because that person will have an influence with other teachers, other faculty in the room, in the building, right? So that was big for me. I think one thing that also was an aha moment, it is very comfortable for you as a coach to be working with the keeners, right? The people that are always, yes, or I came in with a few teachers from a cohort and I feel connected to those people. Immediately, we started together and we have this thing going on. I could work with them forever and they're always open. They are yes people, right? I can go for them with an idea. We always have those teachers that are more flexible. But then what are you doing to move forward with the work with the other teachers? So I think it connects to the relational leadership again, but prioritizing your work. So you are focusing on like how to move, everybody forward, not only the keeners, not only using the keeners to move forward coaching. So this way, I think it's all about building this culture, right?
Ooh, so many great points there. I really appreciate you highlighted this. And I think it's something that is like we could talk about for the whole episode, but this idea of growing your capacity as an informal leader and your capacity with relational leadership to be intentional about leveraging the work that you would like to do as a coach, whether that's with one individual person or a team or a person who's connected to another person. Like that is the kind of strategic thinking that I think a lot of people move into a coaching role and just think, oh, teachers are seeking me out for support. They know I'm a person who can help them. And then when they get into the coaching world, they're like, wait a minute, why aren't teachers seeking me out for support anymore? It doesn't, when you're a classroom teacher, the way people interact with you versus when you're a coach, it's different. And it's just the job title. You are still you are still the same you, they are still the same them, but it is the job title change. And that idea of intentionality, strategy, and like leveraging those relationships, I think that's huge.
It is, and I don't think it's easy because like it took me, I think it's still taking me some time to be to really be in this role where people look at you and you are not in the classroom, so you were closer to administration there than I am, so there is some power to it. And how do you use that, especially when you walk into the classroom, like you said, like since you were not another classroom teacher, you were walking into my class, so you were observing something, you were evaluating me in some way. So yeah, it's something really to work on. And I think connects to another thing that I had, I think that I had in mind in the beginning of the coach, which is well, I need to work on this relationship, just like make sure people feel comfortable around me. It's not about only being comfortable around you. How are you building the trust with this other person? It's beyond, I think, the personal relationship. There are people that I didn't build a personal relationship. It's professional, but still very professional, positive, and we work well together. And others, like we moved on to being, more friends, closer, which it's also okay. You have to be okay with those things, but also be intentional how you are using that, right? How you were putting, the trust deposits to be building that professional relationship.
Oh my gosh, the trust deposit. Yes. And I am editing the podcasts that are coming out next. And one of the ones that I'm working on is an old favorite episode with Joel and Killian that I'm releasing chunks of. Like, even though the whole episode has come out, I'm releasing separate chunks because it's so good. I know you've seen that episode. And she talks about, I forget how she says it. She says it much nicer than the way I'm going to say it right now. But she talks about personal relationships can build results the same way that having professional results can build relationships. And you just said that exact same thing. And I think it's easy to think, oh, we're just about personal relationships. And that is important. Of course, people have to like you. They have to be willing to work with you. Like, they're not going to work with you if they can't stand you. But there's also this idea that we can make progress and we can have a professional relationship and we may not be best buddies outside of school. Like, you can separate those two things and be intentional about the work that you do and make progress with people who you do think are your friends and people who are not your friends. And that's like normal.
Yeah, it's huge. I had a conversation with Maggie, my mentor in the coach, early on, used one of the office hours, and we were talking about like building the relationship. And she said, these teachers, they need to see you as, a person they can trust, because any idea that you bring forward, they don't know you. They don't know if it's going to work. So, it's not like the result of it that needs to be a successful, but how you're going to walk them through that. So they need to trust you in that process. So future, interactions will be easier. So start building from that. I think bottom line, you cannot wait until you have that personal connection or something, that person to like you in order to move forward with this professional, interaction.
I hope you enjoyed this conversation with Jen. This conversation resonated with me so much because I've been through this exact situation multiple times in my own personal experience. As we talk about on the podcast all the time, it is so easy to think that once a school hires coaches, a coaching culture will just emerge. But really, it takes so much more than that. As Jen talks about in this episode, having structures in place to empower teachers to engage with coaches is foundational. But even when you have those, if you're lacking clarity in the purpose behind the program, either within the leadership team or the coaching team or the teachers, it makes it unlikely that teachers will opt in. I also really appreciate the barrier Jen mentions of coaches having teaching responsibilities and how that takes away from their availability to work with teachers. Often when we see dual roles, they stem from a lack of clarity around the vision and purpose for the program. If you're a regular listener to the podcast or this YouTube channel, you know that these aspects of Jen's story are not unique. Similar situations are happening at schools around the world, and I hear these stories all the time from my clients. This is why I developed the Thrive model for sustainable instructional coaching, and that's why that model starts with clarity, as you heard Jen talk about in this episode. There's quite a few other episodes that I'll link up above here for you and in the show notes that can give you an introduction to the Thrive model, why clarity is so important, and some of those sustainable structures that need to be in place to make coaching successful. We use the Thrive model in all of our courses for coaches. Each one of those courses aligned to your level of coaching experience. Having a framework to follow to identify strengths and potential challenges to both your coaching practice and your coaching program is so important. Each of our global cohorts are designed to support you in developing your coaching capacity based on your specific experience level, either as a brand new coach or aspiring coach in getting started as an instructional coach, or educator ready to develop an instructional coaching program in the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program, or as a coach who's ready to leverage their experience for leadership in our course, Coaches as Leaders. Find all the details for all of our courses at coachbetter.tv/learn. If you're not sure which of those courses is right for you, watch one of our free workshops for instructional coaches designed for your experience level so you can take the next step in your coaching journey right now and uncover which course might be right for you next. Find it all at coachbetter.tv/learn. Wherever you are in your coaching journey, we can support you. If you're curious right now and you have questions, please reach out. You can leave a comment on our YouTube channel here or on the show notes on our website at coachbetter.tv. You can join our Coach Better Facebook group, or you can find us on social media at Eduro Learning and send me a DM. I'd love to support you on your coaching journey. See you next time.